Hey there, folks. It's Patrick, and I'm just a dude trying to save the world. If that sounds a little presumptuous or pretentious to you, I get it, but I'm hoping that by the end of this one, you'll see things a bit differently. There's a song released in 1988 by one of my favorite singer-songwriters, Leonard Cohen, in a collaboration with one of his former background singers, Sharon Robinson, titled Everybody Knows. It's a protest song. It's a song that was amazingly comprehensive in its overview then, and somehow remains chillingly accurate now about the threats facing this planet and the foibles of the poor, oblivious fools who inhabit it. I put it up before his death, and they've been kind enough to continue to allow me to exhibit it on my YouTube music channel for some years now, and I'm grateful. I invite you to give it a listen. I'll put the link below, as the kids say, because it's a fairly remarkable and compelling piece of art. Now, there is for me an all but palpable, somewhat vague, but distinct pressure in the very atmosphere, ever present now, like the faint hum of neon. It is, after speaking to some folks, felt by many. This year has brought to the forefront, has exposed and highlighted the state of humanity as in no year before. I hear and I read folks talking about it, who is doing and who has done what, how this group hates this other group, how politicians are misbehaving, the way billionaires are getting richer, while the middle class becomes the poor, and the poor get even poorer in the biggest transfer of wealth in human history. We talk quietly about the insane number of resources devoted to war and to killing the world over, and we watch nonchalantly and detached as cartels roast rivals and innocents alike in 55-gallon drums filled with burning gasoline. We notice and we minimize the almost 1 million and growing deaths from this pandemic, reasoning that given the nearly 8 billion humans on the planet, this number really isn't so high or so bad. Corporations spend millions of dollars to convince us that they believe in and care about climate change, all the while plundering the earth and the atmosphere. We continue to put profit before human lives. We, as a race of beings, and as never before, exemplify the thinking that something is not a problem because it's not affecting me personally. We blame the homeless instead of lifting them up. Indeed, one need only to go for a drive, assuming one can afford a car, out on the road, almost anywhere in the world, in order to view and experience firsthand the place of rage in which humanity finds itself. We notice these things in the periphery of our everyday lives, feeling too preoccupied and too powerless and too overwhelmed to do anything but talk about the offense and to conjecture about where we're headed. And we are, certainly it seems, and it feels like in our bones, careening headlong into some new and unknown future. And we are, as we should be, full of anxiety and full of fear. But we always find ourselves, always now, on the edge of explosive rage. You know it, and I know it. Everybody knows. And when talking about the state of things, we hear, what are you going to do? It is what it is. Everybody knows and talks and frets quietly about the remarkably insane antics of the human race of late, some, like myself, insisting that there must be change. But what I don't ever hear is anybody talking about the root causes. Nobody is addressing, that I can notice, what must change foundationally for us to survive, and certainly nothing but band-aids are being applied to what is quite obviously a gaping and long festering wound. No one is asking, what the hell is wrong with us? We, in our arrogance and in our ignorance, have grown complacent in the face of impending disaster. And so, here I am, just a dude, trying to save the world. Believe me, I hold no illusions. I am just one man. I am, by all accounts, an average human being. Nobody knows me or has ever heard of me. I, like everybody else, have talents, ineptitudes, and faults and issues. And boy, have I made mistakes. I, like so many of us now, was born into and came from a somewhat less than privileged background of severe neglect and abuse. Statistically, given my upbringing and background, I should have been homeless or in jail or dead long before now. And while I have temporarily been both of the aforementioned and have come very, very, in retrospect, uncomfortably close to several times to being permanently the latter, well, here I am. There must be a reason. It's taken years of introspection and work and continuous scientific and philosophical study and research and practice. But I somehow found a path to redemption and peace and to knowledge. I lived through it, and along the way I've acquired a few new perspectives and a few tools that I have brought with me and have given to me the most joyous and grateful and loving and profound place that I have ever experienced. My life is just beginning. These are not opinions. They are researched and proven and tested mechanisms for positive change. I have ideas. Some of them are pretty basic. Some may appear to be controversial. But I know what needs to change, and it's you. And it's me. It's all of us, really, and it's at a very foundational level. And I feel like I can help, having navigated, however wobbly it has been, these waters. It's a never-ending process. It's a journey, if you will, and we all need to make it. We all need to be open to it right now. Because as mentioned recently by a man I have immense respect for, nobody's coming. It's up to us. And so, here I am thinking what most of us think when taking a leap. Who the hell are you? What the hell makes you think anybody's going to listen? But I feel like if I don't at least try, if I don't speak up, if I don't at least offer something, then I'll just be as complacent and oblivious and ineffectual and complicit as the worst and the most selfish among us. I know that in my heart, somebody has to say something. Someone has to start talking about it. Because if we don't change things, if we don't evolve to a level of understanding and love and acceptance, if we don't all start working toward an honest-to-goodness, brighter future for all of us, all of mankind, immediately, you know, the way Jesus, Muhammad, and the countless other prophets have suggested that we should, then we are surely going to find ourselves in the flaming hellscape of Fury Road, bewildered and still struggling to come to terms with our combustion while everyone wades through the ashes. So like, subscribe, and share if you're so inclined, because I'm just a dude. One dude, hoping to save the world. But it's going to take all of us, each and every one. I hope you're all well and safe and happy. We'll see you next time.